Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of my review of last year, the 2017's Cyber Monday cash offers in MCOC. You see, about twice a year, usually on July 4th and Cyber Monday, we get these crazy good, really enticing cash offers that give you the same amount of units plus really great items thrown in so that you could use those units right away for a triple multi-step tiered offer that normally consists of a 1,000 unit offer, a 4,000 unit offer, and a 10,000 unit offer for a total of 15,000 units or $500 worth of units. Now, let me get this out of the way. I wanted to make this a two-parter so that I didn't have a 15 or 20 minute long video. I thought it would be better to break one down in less than 10 minutes, hopefully both times, so that I could take my time and really go over what I would like to see as an improvement from these fairly disappointing deals last year. And I also just want to say, in general, if you are hoarding units, you want to make sure that if this year you're looking to get that 10,000 unit offer, that just like July 4th, you have a guaranteed Awakening Gem, Tier 2 Alphas, and hopefully even Tier 5 Basics, because otherwise it will not be worth it at all, and you will find much better value even just using those units to clear content like Labyrinth of Legends or Act 5 or even the new variant difficulty. Now, I do want to say that July 4th gave us a pretty insane version of the $99.99 Odin's deal, because for the first time it limited 3. You might recall if you watched my video earlier today, it only limited 1. They usually just limited 1 because it was a 5-star Awakening Gem. They didn't want people to have multiple. But July 4th they changed it up and gave you 1/3 of a Tier 5 Basic. So for $300, which given is the price of a gaming console with games, and back in the day, memory cards, rumble packs, extra controllers, whatever. You go on eBay and have a field day for $300. You got one fully formed Tier 5 Basic, which is a crazy amount of money to spend, but yes, you get all the units with it, right? So almost 10,000 units with that triple Odin offer, and one Tier 5 Basic is still so hard to form that if you are like me, and you have this new champ like a Stark Spidey who you desperately want to rank up to rank 565 as quickly as possible, that's a really Candyland style shortcut way to get that champion ranked up, because you have half of the rank up items because you need 2 fully formed Tier 5 Basics to do it right away. So with that in mind, let's look at last year's, and I want to say for the most part they were very disappointing, and we'll discuss why. I would argue that even in 2017, November 2017, most intermediate and above players were focusing on ranking up their 5 stars. That's not to say that they still didn't use 4 stars, but they wanted 5-star opportunities. And the Cyber Monday 1,000 unit cash focused just on 4 stars, except for some 5-star hero crystal shards, which were barely over the 1-to-1 ratio that I like to break down as the total embodiment of disappointment. Because at this stage in the game, we should see at the least a 2-to-1, but hopefully at least a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning 1,000 units should get you 3,000 5-star hero crystal shards, but in this case it was 1,500. And then everything else, you were focusing on a 4-star hero crystal, a Tier 4 Basic, Tier 4 class catalyst crystals, 3,000 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments, which is absolutely nothing, and then 4-star signature stone crystals. This was not worth 1,000 units for most players, especially given what we had seen in the past. So how can this be worth 1,000 units this year? Well, for starters, I think they should just ignore all of those 4-star 6 stones and move them to 5-star 6 stones. We care most about 5-star 6 stones in this current stage of the game. I also think that they should double the Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst and at least have 6,000 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments. And then 3,000 5-star hero crystal shards. If all of that was there, that would be a very enticing 1,000 unit Cyber Monday cash offer. Now, below it, you can see the advanced Cyber Monday, which they are still making the mistake of having mostly 4-star 6 stones, which, keep in mind, we've gotten a ton of those in the past from a $30 deal for cash, so that's not big at all. 12,000 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments, I think that should be bumped up to at least 18,000 for this kind of offer. 2 Tier 4 Basics, 40 Tier 4 class catalyst fragments, and then still with the ratio, this needs to be 8,000 5-star hero crystal shards, at least. That's just a 2-to-1 ratio, right? Not 4,500. That's a joke. Now, of course, normally these are just trying to get by the bouncer at the club, because if you get the first 2 tiers, you get the mega crazy valuable 10,000 unit tier. And I do think it's worth mentioning that July 4th, there was some controversy, because since Kabam limited 3 of the Odins by having 1/3 of a tier 5 basic per $100 purchase, unless you're in Australia and it's crazy and Canada's crazy, right? $100 US purchase. They moved the 5-star Awakening Gem, which, like July 4th on Cyber Monday, had been the Limit 1 Odin's purchase, to the 10,000 unit tier. So suddenly, if you wanted that 5-star Awakening Gem, which we just saw for $70 earlier this month, you weren't going to have to only spend $100. You're going to have to spend $500 worth of units to get it. And that was kind of shady, to be honest. So we are going to move to this 10,000 final tier deal, because you didn't even get... Here's what was crazy about this, right? You actually hurt yourself in the ratio of 5-star Hero Crystal Shards, because at least it was 500 shards over the 1-to-1 unit to shard ratio in the other 2 offers. This, it was 1,000 less. It was only 9,000 5-star Hero Crystal Shards, whereas for 10,000 units, I think you should get a featured 5-star by itself. This should easily be worth 15,000 5-star Hero Crystal Shards. And even then, I'd argue, with the 2-to-1 ratio being what it is, it should be 20,000, at least. And then you got the main prize, which at this point, these things were still crazy rare, although I'm going to take the time to remind you that last year, and hopefully they bring it back, in both the December and January login calendars, just for logging in on the last day of each month, they gave you this same thing, a fully formed Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst for nothing, for free. So now, in 2017, they were wanting you to spend $500 to get one, and then they gave you not 1 but 2 for free in the following months of calendars, which we very much appreciate, Kabam. Please do that again. You also got 3 Tier 4 Basics, which is nothing, 1 Tier 4 Class Catalyst, which should be at least double that, 21,000 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments. There should be another fully formed Tier 2 Alpha from this. Now, given if you spent all 3 of the tiers, you got 2 fully formed in total. But 2 Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts for $500, you know, that is not a good deal at all. In fact, that's very underwhelming. And then finally, only 20 5-star Signature Stone Crystals, which were the 1 out of 6 RNG, not even the generics that you could use on anyone. Those must be generics, and I would love to see that number doubled to at least 40 for selfish reasons with my Starks buddy. So, how can this main one be improved? Well, like I said, at least 15,000 5-star Hero Crystal Shards, unless you want to change that to 9,000 6-star Hero Crystal Shards. Then I can get on board with that. I have a feeling Kabam might do the Tier 5 Basics July 4th model in exchange for the Odin. So this might be where, instead of Tier 4 Basic Catalyst and Tier 4 Class Catalyst, where you see that 5-star class-based Awakening Gem. But, I mean, if you had 9,000 6-star Hero Crystal Shards, a fully formed Tier 2 Alpha, a 5-star Awakening Gem, and then enough fragments to form a second Tier 2 Alpha, and 40 generic 5-star Signature Stones, I could get behind that. I think that would be a great overall way to spend your 10,000 units. But if it's something like this, YouTube, I'm going to tell you, if you've got the cash, buy the cash-based offers and don't waste those units. Keep in mind, 10,000 units, even for players who really, really suck at the game, right? 10,000 units can get you through so much content because of the amount of revives you can buy. And Kabam has been a little bit better this year in terms of giving us more opportunities to get discounted potions and revives for questing. And so if you were to hoard those units and you really wanted to become uncollected, or you really wanted to clear all of Act 5 or the new variant difficulty, you would be much, much better off saving those units for questing purposes and for item purposes than blowing your 10,000 units to get a 5-star Juggernaut. And I want to remind you of that, and I'm going to remind you that again on Monday, because it's tempting to feel like you're missing out if you don't jump on this. But unless there's Tier 2 Alphas and that 5-star Awakening Gem and even Tier 5 Basics or 6-star Shards to where you actually have the opportunity to really improve your roster, you just want to keep the units, because you're going to be so much better off once you don't tempt fate with this still kind of gamble offer. So just think of it that way. And I know it's hard sometimes to have self-control because these offers are in front of you and suddenly you've got like a shopping spree of units. But so many players contacted me last year and said, Prof, I really wish I just held on to those units, right? Like on July 4th, people kept saying that because they spent 15,000 units to get a 5-star Bishop, you know? Nothing against Bishop, but he ain't worth 15,000 units. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes the best move is no move at all, and it's just to save those units to clear future content. Well, there you have it, YouTube. I got to do 2 separate videos to kind of just talk about what I hoped would evolve on Cyber Monday. I'm very excited about this. I'm optimistic that we'll have both July 4th level tiers where you get bonus items for cash and also temptation offers for huge units, 15,000 total. Let me know what you'd like to see below. Be buffed with these current offers. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting my MCOC YouTube channel.